You guys had your movie references. I'm going Eminem. Guess who's back?
Back
again. Here we go. Perrysburg and Whitmer. The first time they matched up, we said this is for all the marbles, the NLL championship. Who gets the home game in the playoffs? This one is actually for all the marbles. Go home if you lose. You do not get to play. Do not pass go. Do not collect $100.
I'm going to press the Wayback Machine all the way back to 2 years ago.
2023.
2023. Yep. Exact same scenario played out in which they met in the regular season.
Whitmer fans,
won.
Plug your ears.
They played again in the postseason, and Perrysburg returned the favor. So we'll see what happens in the 2025 edition. But as you take a look at that bracket, St. Ed's at the top. This is a St. Ed's team who ran roughshod over Northwest Ohio teams last year. We said, I believe, on this podcast that, hey, look out for them. They had a right around 500 record, but then were battle-tested, similar to Central Catholic in our neck of the woods this year. But now they're clearly back and ready to roll. They were the three-time defending state champs, now a number one seed. So we'll see which game we get. I would favor St. Ed's to win that 1-8 seed, and then Whitmer, Perrysburg. Whitmer beat them 35-3 handily, but I was talking to both sides of the spectrum here on Monday and getting some pregame interviews with the coaches and players, and Perrysburg's Thad Merriman said, hey, 2 seconds after that game ended, we thought that we were going to have another crack at them, and lo and behold, here we are. They got a crack at them. They want to go in metaphorically swinging in this game to be able to play hard, play tough from the get-go, because what happened with them in that first time ago, they gave up yards early, and then the time of possession, 30 minutes time of possession for Whitmer, only 16 minutes and 31 seconds for Perrysburg. Need I say more?
You know that's how the Brady game, Maxwell? Yeah, don't let him touch the ball.
Yeah, that's how the game happened, and that's why the outcome occurred. But then I was watching the replay of this one as prep for the podcast here, and I saw some Perrysburg defensive ends getting sucked in and not setting an edge. And I think that laid a foundation of success for that running game. But for Whitmer, I mean, they had Jamon Holmes get to the end zone multiple times in that games. And Dirk Connor said it afterwards, quote, they kicked our tail end. They physically beat us. I mean, so if you don't have motivation on Perrysburg's side to even it up, to flip the script, I mean, I don't know what more can be said. You got to come on Friday.
I wonder, Liam Nowakowski needs touches.
Yeah, 3 touchdowns last week.
And 1 carry for, I think, 1 yard 2 weeks ago. The more I've thought about it, the more I think that Week 10 game, that's tough emotionally for Perrysburg, because no matter what happens, you've got a piece of the pie at minimum. We're fighting for the whole thing. Whitmer's desperate just for a piece of it. Yeah. So Whitmer's the team with all the motivation in the world to go in there.
That was coming off a loss by Clay. Good call.
Exactly. It's a really tough situation for Perrysburg to get into. The other thing was Brady Maxwell. He wasn't effective.
Yeah.
And now in the last 3 games, he's thrown 7 interceptions, no touchdowns. Whitmer held him to 13 carries for 30 yards.
Yeah.
And they were able to get some pressure on him, but with Perrysburg spreading the field, Whitmer was able to drop people back in coverage. It's let's keep Brady Maxwell in front of us.
Yeah.
And they were able to do that really, really effectively. And Justin, spot on. That front 3 or 4, depending on how Perrysburg approaches it, they have to be more physical. They have to be better, because they're not real big. They've got lanky defensive ends and a 6', 200-pound, albeit really good, a really quick nose tackle in John 𝗦𝗁𝗁𝐾𝗁𝐾. I wonder if this might be a game for more Reed Gherkin, because that's a guy that can occupy a couple
space.
Exactly. A couple Whitmer interior linemen and maybe collapse some of those giant gaping holes that Joey Morales and Jamon Holmes and then Jaden Jones in the second half were able to run through. Can they adjust quickly enough, I guess? You look at the film, you figure out what we have to do, and then do we have the kind of guys that we need to slow that running game down? I don't know if they can slow them down enough. Can they be 5 touchdowns better than they were 2 weeks ago? That's the question. They do have the luxury of just having been battle-tested by St. Ignatius. Whitmer can get healthier. Perrysburg, though, got their edge back.
That's where my thought now. This game boils down to momentum from the win versus rest from the bye week.